Welcome to Smile Healing Institute channel. Today's topic is Master Your Emotions, Transform Your Reality Through Conscious Awareness. We are going to dive deep into one of the most powerful skills you can develop as a conscious human being. The ability to master your emotions. Now, when I say master, I don't mean suppress or ignore. I mean understand, transform, and use your emotions as the powerful creative force they truly are. Here is what most people don't realize. Your emotions are not just reactions to your environment. They are literally broadcasting a signal into the quantum field, attracting experiences that match your emotional state. When you master your emotions, you master your ability to create your reality. Probably over the next 30 minutes or within that span of time, we are going to explore the neuroscience behind emotional mastery. Understand how your brain creates emotional patterns and, most importantly, learn practical techniques to break free from unconscious emotional loops and step into your power as a conscious creator. First and foremost, find a comfortable position. Take a deep breath and prepare to transform your relationship with your emotions forever. First of all, we have to understand the science of emotions. Let's start with the fundamental truth. Your brain, that is your brain, does not know the difference between what's happening in your external environment and what you're thinking and feeling internally. Every time you have a thought, your brain produces a chemical. That chemical is called an emotion. When you have happy thoughts, you produce chemicals that make you feel happy. When you have negative thoughts, you produce chemicals that make you feel negative. It's very simple. But here is where it gets interesting. And this is backed by decades of neuroscience research. Your body becomes addicted to these emotional chemicals if you have been unconsciously thinking the same thoughts and feelings, the same emotions for years. Your body literally craves these familiar chemical states. This is why change feels so difficult. Your body is chemically addicted to being you. It's addicted to the familiar emotions of frustration, worry, anger, or even depression. These emotions have become your identity. The moment you decide to think greater than how you feel, the moment you choose to act greater than the familiar emotions that keep you trapped in the past, that's when you begin to evolve. That's when you step into the realm of true transformation. Your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. So, if you want to create a new personal reality, you need a new personality. And that means breaking the habit of being yourself, specifically breaking the habit of your unconscious emotional patterns. Research shows that 95% of who you are by the time you're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program. The remaining 5% is consciousness, struggling against the 95% that's running unconsciously. No wonder change feels so hard. The emotional addiction cycle we must understand. Let me explain how this emotional addiction cycle works. Because once you understand this, you will have the key to breaking free. You wake up in the morning, and within the first few minutes, you start thinking about your problems. Those problems are connected to certain people, certain objects, and places at certain times. The moment you start thinking about your problems, you start feeling the emotions associated with those problems. Now, you are thinking in the past and feeling in the past, and the moment you start feeling the way you have always felt, you start thinking the way you have always thought. Your body is now in the familiar past. This is the loop. Thoughts creates emotions. Emotions influence thoughts. You think and feel and think and feel and think. This cycle conditions your body to become the mind of those emotions. When your body becomes the mind, you are living in the past. Your body literally becomes addicted to the chemistry of your familiar emotions. It does not want you to change because change would mean the end of its chemical fix. This is why when you try to meditate, when you try to be present, when you try to create something new into your life, your body rebels. It starts sending you thoughts like, this is not working. This is too hard. Maybe I should check my phone. I don't have time for this. This is the lame excuse which we give often. These are not your thoughts. This is your body trying to get you back to the familiar emotional state it's addicted to. The beautiful thing is, once you understand this mechanism, you can begin to work with it consciously. You can begin to observe these patterns without being controlled by them. When you can observe your emotional reactions without immediately reacting to them, you create space. And in that space lies your power to choose. In that space lies your freedom. The neuroscience of change. Now, let's talk about what happens in your brain when you make the decision to change your emotional patterns. Every time you learn something new, you make new synaptic connections in your brain. But learning is just the beginning. If you can remember what you learned the next day, you have maintained those neural connections. But here is the key. Knowledge is only potential. It's only when you apply that knowledge, when you personalize it, when you demonstrate it, that you create experience. And experience is what creates a neural networks in your brain. When you string those experiences together, you create a memory, and memory is the foundation of your emotions. So, if you want to change your emotions, you need to create new experiences. But here is more where most people get stuck. They try to create new experiences using the same old emotions. They try to meditate while feeling frustrated. They try to visualize these dreams while feeling unworthy. They try to change their life while feeling like a victim. This doesn't work because you cannot create in the future while you're feeling emotions from the past. You have to feel feel the emotions of your future before your future happens. This is what I call living in the elevated emotions of your future self. When you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you are sending a coherent signal into the quantum field. You are literally broadcasting the signature of your future self. Research in epigenetics shows that when you live in elevated emotions like gratitude, joy, inspiration, and love, you actually turn on genes for health, longevity, and vitality. You turn off genes for diseases and aging. Your emotional state is literally programming your biology. When you master your emotions, you master your genetic expression. You become the architect of your own evolution. Now, let us learn the practical techniques for emotional mastery. Now, let's get practical. I want you to experience and also give you specific techniques you can use starting today to master your emotions and transform your reality. The first and foremost technique is the observer practice. Throughout your day, become aware when you are about to react emotionally. Instead of immediately reacting, pause and just observe. And say to yourself, I notice I'm about to feel angry. Oh my goodness. I notice I'm about to feel frustrated. I notice I'm about to feel anxious. Oh, okay. Just observe. This simple act of observation creates space between you and emotions. You're not your emotions. You're the consciousness observing your emotions. The more you practice this, the power you reclaim. Technique 2, the energy centers meditation. Place your attention on your heart center. Breathe slowly and rhythmically. As you breathe, generate feelings of gratitude, appreciation, or love. Don't just think about being grateful, actually feel it in your body. When you sustain elevated emotions in your heart center, you are creating coherence between your heart and brain. This coherence is measurable. It creates a powerful electromagnetic field that can influence matter at a distance. Now, let us learn the technique 3, mental rehearsal. This is very, very fantastic. Before you get off of bed each morning, spend 10 minutes mentally rehearsing your day. But don't just think about what you want to happen. Feel the emotions of how you want to show up. Rehearse being patient instead of reactive. Rehearse being confident instead of insecure. Rehearse being loving instead of judgmental. When you mentally rehearse with emotional intensity, you are literally installing the neurological hardware in your brain to make those behaviors automatic. Technique 4, the evening review. Before you go to sleep, review your day. When did you react unconsciously? When did you fall back into old emotional patterns? Don't judge yourself, just observe. Then ask yourself, who do I want to be tomorrow? How do I want to feel? How do I want to show up? Feel the emotions of your future self. Fall asleep in the emotions of who you are becoming. Now, technique 5, reconditioning your energy. When you notice yourself in a familiar negative emotional state, immediately change your physiology, like stand up or move your body, change your breathing. Your emotions are energy in motion. So, when you change your physical state, you change your emotional state. Then, consciously choose a new emotion. Don't wait to feel inspired to be inspired. Don't wait to feel grateful to be grateful. Generate those emotions through your intention and attention. Remember, every time you choose to respond rather than react, every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose possibility over limitation, you are literally rewiring your brain and reconditioning your body to a new mind. You are breaking the habit of being your old self and creating the neurological framework for your new self. The moment you start feeling the emotions of your future before your future happens, the moment you start thinking greater than your circumstances, that's when you become a conscious creator of your reality. Your emotions are not your enemy. Remember that. They are your greatest teachers and your most powerful creative tools. When you master your emotions, you master your life. The question is not whether you can change. The question is, are you willing to be greater than your emotions? Are you willing to think greater than how you feel? Are you willing to act greater than the familiar impulses that keep you trapped in the past? The power to transform your reality lies within you. It's time to claim that power. It's time to master your emotions. It's time to become who you truly are. I, I request to each and every one of folks, remember, knowledge without application is just philosophy. Apply what you have learned. Your future self is waiting. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.